Not too long ago, I took on the somewhat tremendous task of ranking my top 10 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks from the base game just like it was released back in 2017 near the Nintendo Switch's launch. Check it out here, if you'd like. No really, I'd appreciate it if you haven't. Regardless, since then, I've grown 3 months older, had much more time to engage with the added tracks via the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, and am back with a new list for you all. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass is all done, with all 6 waves of 8 tracks apiece released, and the final tally of tracks in the entire package is an utterly staggering 96. I've had the pleasure of taking on each and every one of the 48 new tracks in the game and have settled on and compiled my top 10 tracks of the Booster Course Pass. These are the ones I habitually return to, love their designs, enjoy their challenges, and never find a dull moment while racing on these 10 terrific tracks. Let's start this countdown with a track from the first wave of the Booster Course Pass, Ninja Hideaway. It originally appeared as one of the first brand new non-city-based tracks introduced in Mario Kart Tour on mobile. This multi-tiered track, set in an ancient imperial manor underneath the brightness of a full moon, features 2 routes that can be switched between multiple times throughout the race. Generally, there's one ground route and one elevated route, with plenty of opportunities to alternate between the two during the race. Racers begin by revving their engines through the entrance of the manor before getting their first opportunity to make a choice between 2 paths. One is the lower level, where rising and lowering ceilings filled with kunai stab slowly into the dojo floor. The other is straight up some wooden stairs leading to the top tier, where said rising kunai-filled ceilings can be used as ramps to make one's way across to continue along the upper portion of track. Myriad opportunities to continue or switch to the upper or lower levels present themselves as racers careen through sharp turns on the roof of the manor before proceeding to the finish line to do the manor run all over again. The amount of choices and lightning-quick decisions players must make to determine the best means to traverse the manor's 2 tiers makes for an exciting race to take on. It was a long time coming for the King of the Koopas to get some more track representation in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. In fact, it took until the Booster Course Pass's final wave to feature this next track, Bowser Castle 3, from the original Super Mario Kart. While many of the tracks of the Super Nintendo days of the series got quite the glow-up in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, none are as impressive to me as Bowser's home track. The simple design from Super Mario Kart received a much more enhanced setup, complete with the most obvious change, a much larger width, glorious anti-gravity sections, which is a first for an SNES track in Deluxe, plenty of terrific trick opportunities, and thwomps, of course, that make their home in this hot and heated castle environment. This 3-lap lava-filled castle is just phenomenal to look at, with large swaths of track curving and careening with a lava flow, almost looking like something out of a Bowser level within Super Mario Galaxy. It might lack the more complicated bells, whistles, and insane contraptions of Mario Kart 8's Space Bowser's Castle track, but this relic from Super Mario Kart definitely delivers an intense race each and every time you take to its track. Try not to panic with this track's traffic in Shroom Ridge, as originally seen in Mario Kart DS. Yes, the main obstacle to perpetually prepare and watch out for is that of traffic. Various vehicles are driving away from racers depending on the lane. Shroom Ridge features abundant twisty turns and curves that one might want to take the outside of if they're not familiar with the traffic patterns of the track, lest they end up careening directly in front of a car. Shroom Ridge in the Booster Course Pass adds 2 unique and exclusive shortcuts from its original incarnation. Both require a mushroom to properly take, such as a glide ramp in the middle of the clearing just before the track's sold tunnel. The other shortcut allows players to skip an entire turn completely with the help of a mushroom and a wind fan. This is one of my favorite new shortcuts within the Booster Course Pass. With its twists, turns, hills, and yes, traffic, Shroom Ridge is essentially a more engaging, much more interesting, and immensely more challenging Toad's Turnpike. The curves are fun to drift around, traffic is enjoyable to evade, and the shortcut potential all makes for a stellar countryside drive. Put on your suntan lotion and break out your bathing suits. It's time for a race aboard Daisy Cruiser. This course, from Mario Kart Double Dash, returns in stellar form, although not that far removed from its Mario Kart 7 Retro Track days. All the same, the track is far from relaxing vacation fare. After all, there's a race to win and 11 other opponents ready to send you cruising for a bruising. The race starts at the top deck of the cruise ship, immediately giving racers a fork in the path on one of two sides to take. Either way leads to a circular pool where lounging Goombas and inner tubes make a little resting spot for themselves. Hey, they're on vacation too. Down the stairs racers go towards the dining room where tables slip and slide back and forth, tumbling into unassuming racers and costing them precious time in the process. From there, and after a duo of tight corners one right after the other, the track reveals a hole into a flooded lower deck that drivers can optionally enter into, soon after being propelled out of a pipe back outside. Otherwise, racers can keep on the standard path heading upstairs, back outside, around the front of the ship, and heading back towards the finish line. Daisy Cruiser was always a quaint and cozy track for me, despite the lack of smooth sailing that can ensue on it. And its arrival in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe made me absolutely joyful. We move from a summery track to one of more autumnal fare with Mario Kart Wii's Maple Treeway. This track is an utter delight, taking place entirely amongst the treetops and golden leaf foliage. Racers begin with a ride downhill towards a cannon that launches them through to the canopy up top, where a massive drifting opportunity takes place. This spiral of sorts, filled with leaves that can reveal hidden mushrooms for lucky racers, leads to a wide open area home to a couple of large wigglers whom are ready to march over anyone foolish enough to drive aimlessly in their way. Maple Treeway's latter half features boost pads, a U-turn that houses a half pipe for a trick opportunity, and a very narrow passageway leading to a final glide towards the finish. Everything from the fall foliage to the technical turns and fun shortcut leading to the cannon and first gliding spot of the race makes for a track in Maple Treeway that is absolutely breathtaking no matter the outcome. And that's whether you win or have a nice trip, and see you next fall. Mario and the Mushroom Kingdom crew have raced in all sorts of situations and locales, but never before have they had the, pleasure of speeding through a bathroom. Until now. Enter Squeaky Clean Sprint. This race from Wave 5 of the Booster Course Pass plunges players and racers of all types directly into the depths of a sink before leaping out, shortly after taking a quick turn, and then plunging them back again into a body of water, this time a bathtub. The race leads through the bathtub's twisty drain where item boxes get sucked through alongside drivers. A double item box rests under the safety of a ring, which, by the way, how did that get down there? And the drain eventually spits players out to a soapy and sudsy bathroom tile floor. A fan then pushes players back from the inside of the next turn, while on the outside a half pipe offers a trick opportunity and some item boxes too. This turn leads to a gliding section where on the second and third laps the toilet that racers glide over, yes, a toilet, lets loose and sprays a geyser of water out. This can be used to reach the upper level, where racers can reach a second gliding spot to cross over the finish line. Shrinking the Mushroom Kingdom crew down to micro size in a bathroom is a clever concept all to itself, and the idea is even better executed with just how detailed the room is. From a bitty bug alarm clock front and center at the beginning of the race, to cleaning supplies under the K-Mac branding, each time I race on this track, I seemingly spot some new detail, and that alone makes this track just a joy. A sizable portion of the Booster Course Pass itself features real-world city-based tracks. Sydney Sprint serves as the sole city-based inclusion for Mario Kart Tour on this list, and that is definitely not to say that the aforementioned real-world tracks aren't winners. Sydney's entry to Mario Kart Tour just happens to be the best of the bunch in my opinion, featuring 3 laps that take players all around the miniature version of the well-known Australian Eastern Coast city. Between jaunts through and around the famous Opera House, looping through a colorful amusement park, passing over a long bridge, not just once, not just twice, but 3 times, and jetting all around the colorful, picturesque landscape of Sydney, this track is utterly enjoyable. Like all Mario Kart Tour City tracks, Each lap puts players on a different path throughout the cityscape, seeing different sights, having them take on different turns, and so forth. What perhaps puts Sydney's Sprint over the other Mario Kart Tour city tracks in this game is the song. Was that sax player on something good? Mario Kart 7's iteration of Rainbow Road takes players on a journey through the stars. Rather than race on 3 laps covering the same ground, or space, I guess. In this case, this version of Rainbow Road, like Mario Kart 7's original version, is split up into 3 fully fledged sections. The Rainbow track threads through and around the stars and even planets. It takes players atop the rings of a planet toy, where a multitude of boost pads allows players to stitch and string successive boosts together, and the undulation of the track eventually leads way to the surface of the moon itself, complete with low-gravity jumps on craters and rolling chain chomps to avoid. Hey, they're just rolling around living their best life too in space. What follows are rainbow conveyor belts leading to a spinning tunnel where timing is crucial on whether you stay grounded on the track or end up gliding among the stars and rings in the air. One final intense turn raised into the air leads to the finish line, where this galactic adventure comes to a super satisfying close. Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 7 remains my favorite Rainbow Road of any Mario Kart game, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's version, like Neil Armstrong before it, sticks the landing. There's no time to shop till you drop, as there's a race to win. Coconut Mall remains a beloved track all these years since its debut in Mario Kart Wii, and for very good reason. Seldom does one get the chance to burn rubber through the halls of Isle Delfino Mall in such a fantastic fashion. Speaking of, soaring past clothing shops really puts a whole new meaning to the term fast fashion. I'll be here all week. Anyway, from riding up escalators which beg players to pay attention to the direction they're moving in, and breezing through and past storefronts, one of which has a really cool shortcut opportunity, to tricking off of planters near the food court and making a decision between a lovely glide or a standard drive through the parking lot, Coconut Mall never fails to delight. Even the shy guys pulling wheelies in their car which look like they're having the time of their lives, which by the way has to drive up their insurance rates exponentially. But I digress. Coconut Mall is a beautiful track, and it's my favorite of the returning tracks within Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Booster Course Pass. Based on the titular game featuring Mario's favorite dinosaur pal, Yoshi's Island was one of those tracks that when I first raced on it, I had a consistent and steady smile on my face the entire 3-lap foray. Between the countless cameos on the track and in the background, what with pedal guys, Goonies, Sidesteppers, and even Yoshi's pal Poochie, among many others, and even how when you start up and finish the race, familiar Yoshi Island jingles play. It's such a wonderfully done track that really hit my Yoshi fan heartstrings. Moreover, the track design itself isn't anything to cry at either. Sorry, baby Mario. From traversing and threading through the initial field of flowers, to diving into the waters leading to a cavern, and then rocketing high up into the clouds, Yoshi's Island takes its reference materials and puts them into a special racetrack. A stunning track that delivers for me as a Yoshi fan, and more importantly, one that is absolutely fun to race on. Heck, it even houses secrets like the Yoshi Island games, such as that item cloud on the glide to the final twisty turn. Hitting it will uncover an elevated path that can be driven on to get to the goal faster. Maybe I wouldn't love this track as much if it didn't hit my Yoshi-loving nostalgia, but considering it does, Yoshi's Island remains my favorite track of this Booster Course Pass. From Ninja Hideaway to Yoshi's Island, we have counted down together my favorite tracks featured in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Booster Course Pass. What about you? Which tracks are your favorites? Let your opinion be read in the comments section below. And if you like what you just watched, please consider dropping a like on this video and a subscription to this channel so I can provide more content like this to you. Until next time everybody, have a super day.